So first of all, the NSA acknowledges that they did, for 6 suspects, look into what websites they were going to and what porn that they were watching on those websites. And they say, quote, without discussing specific individuals, it should not be surprising that the U.S. government uses all of the lawful tools at our disposal to impede the efforts of valid terrorist targets who seek to harm the nation and radicalize others to violence. All right, so they're saying, it's okay, guys, we're just keeping you safe. These are valid terrorist targets. Really? Well, as the Huffington Post reports here, in a great story, of course, broken by Glenn Greenwald, Ryan Gallagher, and Ryan Grimm, none of the 6 individuals targeted by the NSA is accused in the document of being involved in terror plots. None of them. Well, they must have a ton of terrorist contacts. So they might not be terrorists themselves, but they got to be talking to terrorists nonstop, right? The NSA itself in the document says, no, there's, quote, minimal terrorist contacts. In fact, if you quantify it, on one of the guys, in 1% of his contacts, they said, well, that could be a radical group that could be doing terrorism. Does he even know that about the people that he's contacting or emailed in some way or another? Who knows? Minimal terrorist contacts. In other words, for most of these guys, they didn't have anything to do with terrorism. They just said things that the government doesn't like. In fact, the government admits it. They say, instead, as the Huffington Post reports, the NSA believes that targeted individuals radicalize people through the expression of controversial ideas via YouTube, Facebook, and other social media websites. So people who are radicalizing others, that seems a bit vague, doesn't it? And they're doing it through dangerous outlets like YouTube.
Alex Jones last week was a guest on the Opie and Anthony show, and he made what I consider a very startling revelation. Hi everybody, this is Marcus Allen, editor and publisher of TruthIn7Minutes.com. Take a listen to this.
Let me tell you a story. I grew up in Dallas, Texas with my family. Let me just say something. I grew up in Dallas, Texas with my family doing things like helping take in East German defectors, okay? Whenever I go to a family reunion, half the people in the room are former retired CIA.
What?
And do you know what they tell me?
What?
They tell me I'm dead on, 100% absolutely
There
right.
you go.
Stop the tape. Did you hear that admission? Let me play it again. Here we go.
No, let me tell you a story. I grew up in Dallas, Texas with my family.
Oh.
Let me just say something. I grew up in Dallas, Texas with my family doing things like helping take in East German defectors, okay? Whenever I go to a family reunion, half the people in the room are former retired CIA.
What?
And do you know what they tell me?
What?
They tell me I'm dead on, 100% absolutely
There
right
you go.
about what
Wow. I've been looking for years to see Alex Jones's connections to the CIA, and he just admitted that his family is ex-CIA. Now, to those who haven't been in search of truth, you may think, well, that gives him credibility, street cred. You know, he knows people on the inside. And that couldn't be further from the truth.
Wait a minute. What are we on? Now, could somebody consider our ideas radical and target us as individuals? And who isn't on YouTube, Facebook, or other social media websites? Look at how incredibly broad this is. Well, then let's go to a couple of their specific targets. Well, they say, don't worry, they are mostly non-Americans. Wait, come again? Well, 5 of them were non-Americans and they were abroad. One of them was an American subject, meaning that he's either a citizen or a permanent resident. Oops. I can't stand it when they're like, well, if these abuses keep going, they might target American citizens. They're targeting American citizens now! Now! Yes, the guy's an American person! And look, with our drone programs, people are like, oh man, oof, this could come to America. We already executed 3 American citizens without a trial in our drone program, including a 16-year-old. Why do they keep saying things could get out of hand when they're already out of hand? All right. So one of the targets was, quote, another target, a foreign citizen the NSA describes as a respected academic. Now, Glenn Greenwald didn't classify him a respected academic. The NSA did. Oh, well, if things get out of hand, man, they might start going after academics. Except that's exactly what they're going after right now. But to be fair, the NSA doesn't like what that academic is saying. Oh, they don't? Wow. They think that if you listen to that academic, he could radicalize you. That only sounds like everything Bill O'Reilly says every night about every progressive academic in the country, right? Oh, no, but it's okay, but it's to non-Americans except when it is to Americans. A third targeted radical is described as a well-known media celebrity based in the Middle East who argues that the U.S. perpetrated the 9/11 attack. Now, how easy is it to say, well, we targeted their media celebrities. We have a media celebrity here, Jesse Ventura. He believes the U.S. orchestrated the 9/11 attack. Why don't we look at his computer? Why don't we see what kind of porn he's watching? By the way, good luck trying to embarrass Jesse Ventura. But, you know, that means the door is wide open. Media celebrities, people who we don't agree with, I think their ideas are radical, they're on Facebook, whatever, we're going to go after them. They're telling you they're going to go after them. And everybody says, well, gee, what if it gets bad? It's already bad. All right, going. NSA documents say focusing on access reveals potential vulnerabilities that could be even more effectively exploited when used in combination with vulnerabilities of character or credibility or both of the message in order to shape the perception of the message as well as that of his followers. 2 important points there. This is the NSA itself saying, 1, who cares, man? We're going to go after his character. If we don't agree with him, Julian Assange, we're going to go after his character. We're going to do it based on sex. Oh, what did they charge Julian Assange with? Well, they haven't actually charged him, have they? But there have been accusations of what? Sex. Huh, interesting. Ellie Spitzer, when he was going after the banks, what were the allegations? Oh, right, sex. They went after his character and credibility. Funny how that happens. But it's never happened in the U.S. It's never happened anywhere else before, just to some dirty Muslims abroad. So don't sweat it. Boy, this could get out of hand. And by the way, if you notice the last part of that, they say not only do you go after his character and credibility, but by extension, his followers as well.
The Defense Department releasing brand new details into an investigation involving child pornography and dozens of its workers and contractors, some with top-level security clearance. Not only are these very serious accusations, but investigators say some of the people involved were handling the nation's most sensitive secrets, potentially making this a matter of national security. Chief Fox Report correspondent Jonathan Hunt with the news. Appalling story, Jonathan. Do we know more about these people and their security clearances?
Well, we don't know their exact job titles, John, but what we do know is that they did appear to have been working, some of them, at high levels across a range of government agencies. Take a look at this, for instance, the National Security Agency, the National Reconnaissance Office, and the very secretive Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. Others also worked on actual military installations, including Edwards Air Force Base in California and also the California-based Naval Air Warfare Center. So they had access to military secrets in some cases and military hardware, John.
Are all these suspects under arrest?
They're not all under arrest. We got 94 pages of investigative material from the Defense Department today, including dozens of specific individuals. They have not all been arrested, though. Some have been tried, some have been sentenced, but some have, the cases simply fell apart because of lack of evidence. And legal experts tell us it is always very difficult to prosecute child porn cases, not least because it's difficult to prove who exactly was on any given computer. Listen.
Who has the password? Who has the identification to get into that? Was it you who opened the computer and I went on it? Those are very difficult aspects in prosecuting. Then there's finding the victims. Are they abused victims? Are they underage? Did they appear overage? You know, there's a lot of difficulties built right into child pornography cases.
But Josh Hanshaft also told me it is imperative that the government find a way to prosecute in these cases because they are so important and so disturbing.
And this isn't just about workers committing crime.
No, it's not. The big fear here is that there is a possibility that these people open themselves to blackmail by a foreign power that wants to get information about our military secrets, or even terrorists. So the Defense Department is very concerned. It says they are taking all of these cases very seriously indeed, John.
I'll bet they are. Jonathan Hunt.
Keeping them honest tonight, potentially hundreds of military employees and contractors who may have bought child pornography online but haven't been prosecuted or even in some cases investigated. That's right, you heard me, child pornography. As many as 1,700 names, according to a U.S. Senator, on a list of 5,200 from an internet sting operation overlooked the first time around 4 years ago. Only now are they supposedly getting a second look, and only after pressure from investigative reporters and the U.S. Senator you're about to hear from, Republican Charles Grassley. Pentagon porn story began in 2006. An Immigration and Customs Enforcement child pornography sting operation called Project Flicker produced payment records of about 5,200 people, many of whom provided Army or Fleet zip codes or military email addresses. Subsequently, the Pentagon's investigative branch, DCIS, began going through the ICE list to identify who actually was a DoD employee or a contractor. The investigation, however, only ran for 8 months and only cross-checked some 3,500 names for Pentagon ties, according to a senator. Senator Grassley, you were told that 5,200 Defense Department employees had allegedly purchased child porn, and yet you're saying only 3,500 of those names were cross-checked by a defense investigator to see if they were really DoD personnel. That's mind-boggling. Why weren't all of them cross-checked?
Well, we don't have an answer to that question.